With models like DeepSeek R1 coming into the spotlight, many people are worried about privacy because it comes from a Chinese company. But even US companies are guilty of collecting data. And you want to know who the biggest offenders are? Alexa and Google Home. They collect all your information.
I don't know that.
So there is a solution. It's 100% local. We can integrate AI within it, making us smarter than her. And also our data is not being shared to the outside web. Let's hop over to my studio so I can show you what all you need and how to set it up. So what all do we need? The first thing you need is a Raspberry Pi. You can get a 3, 4, or 5. The higher the number, the better your experience will be. You will also need a micro SD card, at least 128 gigabytes, as well as a micro SD card reader to plug into your PC, and obviously the power cable. I will link the kit that I bought down below if you want to check that out. You're going to want to get an Ethernet cable if you don't have one already. You can do it over Wi-Fi, but it's not recommended. If you would like to talk to your AI within your room, you can use something such as a USB microphone, as well as if you would like to hear it, you can use a USB cable along with a speaker that supports USB connections. I do not own any USB audio devices, so I'll be using my phone where I can chat with my personal AI anywhere in my house. It's a wonderful option. I'm gonna show you how you can set up both, so don't worry if you wanna do one or the other. You can do both if you'd like. Something that I highly recommend, although not necessarily required, is a Zigbee dongle. This lets you connect to Zigbee-enabled devices, and Zigbee is just like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. It's another wireless protocol that different devices can use, and Zigbee is very low power and it's mesh-like, so that if a device is out of range of the original signal, a different device can relay that message if it is in range. The only downside of this is that Zigbee-enabled devices can get a little pricey, but in my opinion, they allow you to do so much more. If you're looking for smart devices on Amazon, it'll usually tell you in the description of the product if it's Zigbee-enabled. I picked up these door contact sensors. These allow you to know when something is open or closed, and you can have it trigger something else in your house. But there are a wide range of sensors that you can get, including proximity sensors so you can tell when someone is inside of a specific room, or sensors that detect motion. You could even set up security cameras and have this relay information into your main hub. I'm really excited to show you guys how you can set this all up, so let's get started. The first thing you need to do is plug in your micro SD card into your computer. Next, head over to the Raspberry Pi website to download the OS. Once you're on the Raspberry Pi website, head over to software and download the Pi imager for whatever machine that you're running it on. Once you have the imager open, it should look like this. Choose your device. I have a Pi 5. Choose OS. Scroll down to Other Specific Purpose OS, choose Home Assistant and Home Automation, then scroll down to Home Assistant. Click on the one for your device, choose your storage, select your SD card, click Next, then yes. So what this is doing is installing Home Assistant onto your SD card, which then we can put into our Raspberry Pi, and it'll automatically boot up into Home Assistant. If you don't know what Home Assistant is, it's a fully local open source smart home app that lets you control everything about your home and connect to all of your devices in one place. So here we got our confirmation message, so we can click continue and remove your SD card from your computer. If you bought the Raspberry Pi kit that I have, then on one end you'll notice all the ports. On the other end is the SD card slot. Plug it in, then get your power cable and plug it into the side. Then plug it into a power strip, then take your Ethernet cable and plug it into the front. Now on the same computer that we just installed the OS on, we can go to the browser and see if this is working properly. By going to http homeassistant.local port 8123, we should be able to access our Home Assistant. If you got this error like I have, you're a little unlucky, but hang in there, I'll show you how to fix it. We just have a couple different debugging steps that we have to take, and if you didn't get this error, then feel free to skip ahead. Your Raspberry Pi should have came with an HDMI cable. Plug that into your monitor and also plug it into your Raspberry Pi, as well as plug a keyboard into your Raspberry Pi via USB. What you want to do is type in this very long command which sets up your Wi-Fi. Copy this command letter by letter, except for where you see MY-SSID and my_pass. You'll need to replace MY-SSID with your Wi-Fi name and your my_pass with your Wi-Fi's password. This command will be in the description below. So I actually ended up enabling Wi-Fi on my device, which is fine. I can plug this anywhere in the house and it doesn't need to be tied to a computer. It just would have been nice if my Ethernet cable worked so I didn't have to go through that hassle. But this is it. Once you go to your homeassistant.local 8123, you should see this screen. And this lets you set up your Home Assistant. Are you excited? If not, you should be. Click on Create Smart Home. Type in your name, then select whatever username you want to use for your Home Assistant. Keep in mind, this is kind of like your router password, so be mindful about that. For the sake of this video, I'm going to use test and then select whatever password you want and confirm it. Then once you're ready, press create account. Here you can put in your address, which is a very nice feature. Again, all your data is safe and you control it, and this isn't shared with anybody. But it does give you some really nice features such as knowing the weather in your location, which your AI can use to relay that information to you. Help us help you. No, thank you. Just click next. And then voila, it's already found compatible devices. Your Home Assistant has so many different integrations. It can connect to literally any smart device that you own. All in one place. It is so freaking cool. So this is the main dashboard that I have. Nothing special yet. Let's come down to settings and go to devices and services. And these are all the different devices that it has already tried to set up. It looks like it found an iBeacon tracker for my phone. So let's add that and then submit and finish. And it's already set up. For the rest of these, you just do add, submit, and finish. So the UPnP device that it found is my home router. And for these, you can click on them for the different devices. You can go into the entities. The device itself is the router, and the entities are the parameters of the router, such as packet speed, upload speed, download speed, all that kind of stuff. And these are all parameters that can dictate what we do for our automations. So I want to set up one of the smart plugs that I have in my room that controls my lamp. I believe the brand of the smart plug is called Casa, but it goes by an integration called TP-Link. So to add that, I'm going to click on add integration and look at all these different integrations that you can add. There are thousands of different integrations you can add within this to make your home smarter, including a Minecraft server if that's your shtick. So I'd assume this gives you data on like if your Minecraft server is up or not. You can see the latency of it, how many players are online. That's kind of cool, but that's not what I'm doing today. So I'm going to get TP-Link. I'm going to do smart home host. I'm going to submit as is. It should autofill. And just like that, it's found both of my devices, submit, finish, and then I can do that again and then add my other light, and that's it. Now inside of here we can see Skippy, which is one of my lights downstairs, and now my bedroom lamp. Let's click on the device, and here you can see all the controls and the configurations. And if I switch my lamp on, there it is. This is so cool, 100% open source. You can search for anything that you like. I'm gonna turn it off just for the pleasantries of this video, but that's really freaking cool. So next what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna plug in my Zigbee dongle into my Raspberry Pi, and it should automatically discover its protocol and try to find devices immediately. And after about 30 seconds, it pops up. Let's click add, submit. By the way, this is a 3.0 USB, so make sure it is in a USB 3.0 slot on your Raspberry Pi. And there we have it, success. Let's click on finish. And now we have our dongle set up successfully. And then let's click on add devices via this device. And it's searching for Zigbee devices, AKA our door contact sensor. And it found the device. And there we have it. It's set up. So let's give it a name. I'm going to put this on my front door. So I'm going to name it front door sensor. And for the area, it actually already made areas for me. It's going to go in my living room. If we go to visualization, we can now see the different nodes. So we have this as our antenna. It's our coordinator, all these different devices that connect to this mesh. So now if we pop back over to devices inside of Zigbee automation and we go into the devices, you can see the front door sensor, and you can see right now it says open. But as soon as I put these two pieces together, closed, open, closed, open, closed, open, closed, open, closed. It has a logbook and timestamps every time that this thing is activated, which is very nice for security purposes. The last thing I'm going to show you to really expand its functionality is to download the app. So on iOS or Android, come on over to your app store and type in Home Assistant. Scroll down and download it, and it's that easy. So this is your way to connect to your server from your phone, which is really convenient. When it asks to connect to any service on your phone, I would strongly encourage you to allow it. This will make your Home Assistant far smarter and will have a bunch of data on you. But keep in mind, all your data is safe inside your network and nobody can access it without being on your Wi-Fi, and even then they need a password. So click on continue, click on home, then input the credentials that you set up earlier. Now this is it. This is your dashboard that you created, so I can turn on my bedroom light just like that. Now that we have all these different things configured, let's set up the voice assistant so that we can control our house with our voice. First things first, go to your settings, then do add-ons, and then to the add-on store. First on our list is open wake word. This will allow us to say a keyword and the AI will start to listen. This is important so it's not always listening to us. Click on install, wait for that to download, and once it's installed, click on start. The next thing we need to install is Whisper. So click on Whisper, click on install. Whisper is a speech-to-text module that hears what we're saying and converts it into text so that we can do more things with it. Once that's installed, click on start. The next thing we're going to install is Piper, which is our text-to-speech module. Click install. So Piper is going to take the response from the AI and convert it into speech for us to hear. Go and start. And the last thing we're going to install is assist microphone. Click on install. This is important. If you don't want to use your phone, and you want the device itself to hear you and respond to you, then you'll need to plug in your USB microphone along with your USB speaker. Feel free to do this now. All right, again, like I said, I do not have a USB speaker, so I'm only gonna plug in the mic for demonstration purposes. I'm gonna use my phone to actually demonstrate this. But before you start it, come over to configuration and scroll down to the bottom and select your audio inputs and outputs, and then click save. Then head back over to the info tab and then feel free to start it. After we have all of these different plugins installed, you'll notice all these Wyoming protocols have been discovered. Go through each one and add and submit. Then after that, let's come back to the settings and go into the voice assistants tab. Home Assistant has already provided us with a voice assistant for us to use. Let's just edit that. Let's change the speech to text to faster whisper, as well as the text to speech to our Piper. Now with Piper in here, we can select the voice that we want. I'm gonna go with Ryan Lowe. You can try the voice if you would like.
Hello, how can I assist?
It's kind of handsome. Then to turn on your wake word, you can come up here and add streaming wake word. Then down here, select open wake word, and then you can select what wake word you want. So if you're a fan of Iron Man, you can do Hey Jarvis, or if you want to keep it Alexa, nobody does, but you can do that if you want. I'm gonna switch it to OK Nabu just for the time being. You do update. At this point in time, you'll be able to say your keyword along with your command, and it'll be able to control whatever you want. So say like OK Nabu, turn on bedroom lamp, or whatever the light is called, and it will do that. To demonstrate this, I'm gonna do it on my phone instead. So on your dashboard, come up to assist, and now you can access your microphone. You can speak to it.
Sorry, I'm not aware of any device called you can access your microphone, you can speak.
So it's a little bit stupid right now, but we're about to upgrade its brain with an LLM of our choosing to make it be able to answer questions for us and to predict what we're actually talking about. Even if we're not being that specific, it'll even have memory. So for instance, let's try something. Turn on bedroom lamp.
Turned on the switch.
And it turned on the lamp. And then if you were to say, turn it back off.
Sorry, I'm not aware of any device called it back.
It doesn't know what it just turned on. So this is an issue that we're gonna fix by implementing this AI, and it'll still be ran locally and all your information will be safe inside your own network. So to do this, head over to Ollama's website. So on the website, click on download and download it for whatever machine that you're gonna be running this on. I'm going to be using my desktop so I can offload the computing power to my desktop and then have it return its response back to our Raspberry Pi. Doing it this way will decrease the time it takes for when you ask the question to when you get a response. Once you have Ollama installed, you won't get a GUI. It pops up in the bottom right where you can see it running. To get started with Ollama, you want to go to your terminal. For Windows, you can right click the Windows button and click on terminal. To check if Ollama is running, you can do Ollama help, and it'll tell you all the commands for Ollama. To download a model, head over to Ollama's website and go over to models. And then these are all the models that Ollama currently supports. Yes, it has DeepSeek R1, but you need to get a model that's capable of tools. So you can use Llama 3.3, but it's 70 billion parameters. Not too many people have good enough computers to run that large of a model. So I often opt to go for Llama 3.2 because it's very small and it has tool capabilities. So you can click on Llama 3.2 and you can copy the command to download it here. Go back into your terminal and paste the command and run it. I already had this installed, so it's not gonna take too long before the chat appears. For you, however, it might take a little bit of time to download. It's a couple gigabytes, so you can treat this as a coffee break. Ollama naturally runs on port 11434, so you can go over to your browser and put in localhost 11434, and it should say Ollama is running. That's how you know that the server is up and that our Raspberry Pi can communicate it through that port. Now, this is very important for Windows users. You need to come to your search bar, type in environment variables, click on environment variables, and click on new. And you want to put the variable name as Ollama_host and set the variable value to 0.0.0.0. That's 4 zeros, and click OK. Click OK again, and then exit. Going back over to Home Assistant, go into settings, then go to devices and services, add integration, and type in Ollama. Click on Ollama and it'll ask you for a URL. To get this URL, you need to go back to your terminal, and then inside this terminal, you need to type ipconfig, and you need to use your IPv4 address. So for me, it's 192.168.59. And then you need to put the port number 11434 at the end of it. When you do that, it'll show you all the models that you have downloaded. This means that it was a success when connecting to your computer. So we want to use Llama 3.2 because it has tool use, and there we have it. It is now connected to our Raspberry Pi. Now head back over to settings and voice assistants and go back into your Home Assistant, change the conversation agent to Llama 3.2 and click on the gear icon. Here is the system prompt to tell the AI what to do. You would want to add, you can also answer any other questions. Because sometimes the AI will be so strict in its response, it'll think it's just a home automation agent and it won't actually answer any questions that you want. This is probably the most important setting. Make sure you turn on assist or else it won't be able to access your devices and turn them on and off. And then click submit and then update. So now you can speak with it with your keyword, or you can use your phone and it'll reply back to you like an intelligent AI. So let's try it out. Go over to assist. Hi, how are you? Oh no, I heard my...
I'm a helpful assistant. I don't have feelings or emotions like humans do, but I'm here to provide information and help with your smart home setup. How can I assist you today?
Let's ask it a question. When did the first Hunger Games come out?
The first Hunger Games book was published on September 14, 2008. The movie adaptation was released on March 23, 2012.
That's freaking cool. And this is available anywhere on my home Wi-Fi. So I can ask it any question and it can answer pretty faithfully. Let's see if it can turn off my lamp. Can you turn off my bedroom lamp?
Turned off the switch.
That was fast. Now let's try to turn it back on. Can you turn it back on?
The bedroom lamp has been turned on.
And it has memory. So it knows what it last turned off and can retrace its steps to reverse whatever you did without explicitly specifying the last action it took. That's powerful. You want to expand its functionality and you want a Alexa-like module that you put around your house, then you can create something called a Wyoming satellite, which is another Raspberry Pi that relays information back to this home Raspberry Pi and then can hear you anywhere in your house. This video is getting long enough as is, so that's going to be a topic for a different day. I plan on expanding on this home automation series, so if there's something specific that you want to see, I'll gladly make a video on it. If you found this content to be either helpful or entertaining, please consider subscribing and liking as well. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.